Hi everybody, it's Cyclone. Today we're gonna do a racket tier list. Let's go. Alright, so let's start with the first racket. It's gonna be the Bubble Up Pure Strike. This racket looks really good, to be honest, but the thing that I don't like with this racket is the fact that yes, it's really stiff. It's fine for me, but it's a bit too powerful for a control-oriented racket for me. So I was a bit disappointed, but also, the look is pretty good. So I would give it like a okay, B. So for me, B is the average. Next on, we have the Cyclone Whiteout. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I haven't tried the Cyclone Whiteout yet. I would love to. From what I've heard, it's a cool racket, but I can't really rate it because I don't know how it plays, but just from the specs and all that stuff, I feel like it could be a solid A. So I would put it in A. Next on, we have the Wilson Ultra. I've made a couple of videos on my channel about the Ultra. It's a racket that I like personally, but I just don't see myself play with this racket for a year. It's a good racket from the baseline, but really average, at the net and for the serve. So yeah, probably deserve a B spot. Next on, we have the Technifiber Tempo Suatec. I've tried a couple of Technifiber racket, but not this one particularly. So yeah, seems like a really good racket though. Yeah, probably an A tier from looking to the specs. Next on, we have a old color, but in the new head Radical Exotic. I really love the Pro. Okay, the Pro should be like an S tier. Okay, but the MP for me is like a B tier. So let's go in the middle. Let's go to A. Next on, still the same thing. It's the old color, but we're talking about the Yonex Percept. The Yonex Percept is cool, but it's pretty much the same thing that it was for the Vcell Pro. They changed a bit the flexibility of it, so you don't feel that it's as flexible as it was for the Vcell Pro 2021. That's a bit better. That's the type of racket that I like. And I like, the line that they made, going really light to really heavy. For me personally, it's my personal tier list, I would go probably A again. Next on, we have the E-Zone. Okay, I know I'm gonna get a lot of 8, but when I'm looking at the racket that I have in the A tier, and I'm looking at the racket that I have in the B tier, for me the E-Zone deserves the B tier, okay? I like this racket, don't get me wrong. There's something that is missing in this racket, and maybe they're gonna improve it for the next one. We'll see, but yeah, it's going to be a B tier, but a really good racket. It would be yeah, like that. I'm gonna put it in order, so I'm gonna go Radical, this one, V-Core, maybe there, Percept actually. Yeah, I'm gonna go in order, so the closer that you are to the letter, the better you are. So yeah. Next on, what is this racket? I'm not able to see clearly what is this racket. Probably we'll say that it's the Gravity. I can't really see. Okay, so the Gravity, I really love the Pro, I love the MP, and I love the team. So personally, I think it's even better than the Radical. So we're gonna give it a A tier, but maybe we're gonna consider this racket to be the S tier because I only want one or two racket in the S tier. Next one, we have the Wilson Blade. I was an owner of the Wilson Blade. I will say that it didn't age well, okay? At the beginning was cool, a cool racket with the new thing, the flexibility, the 45 technology, but as the time went by, people start to get rid of it, and just for that, I think it fell off. It was in S tier, now it's probably you know, a B tier, you know, but solid B tier in front of the strike. Yeah. Next on we have the Bubble Up Pure Arrow. I really love the new Arrow, the team, the whatever, the 98, the regular. For me, it's better than the older version. Yeah, close to S tier too. Yeah, should be behind the Radical for me, but A tier for sure. Next one we have the Wilson Pro Staff. So for the Pro Staff, I was a bit disappointed by this racket. I feel like it's a bit too tough for the modern game to play with this racket. But the 97L is really good and I like the 100. Would go B tier in front of, you know what? Yeah, would go C tier for this one. Just because I'm not sure about this line and I'm not sure where it's going right now. The Sun & Cold Blackout. I haven't tried this racket. Same thing, you know, the specs look cool, but you know, for me it has to be a B tier. Yeah, just by looking at the specs, you know, B tier. Next on, what is this racket? Yeah, the Dunlop CX series. I've tried the Dunlop CX series, but couldn't get my hand on it to just make a review. Like, I've tried the racket for like 15 minutes, okay? It's a cool racket, it has a lot of control, but really, really stiff. So would go probably, you know, behind the strike in the B tier. Yeah, I really like this racket, but like, I like pretty much all Dunlop's rackets, but they're just so stiff and I can't really love the feeling of it. Next on, we have the Extreme. I really like the Extreme line. I have yet, when I'm filming this video, to make a review on one of the Extreme, but yeah, the team, the tour is, yeah, so good. So yeah, should be a tier, solid A tier. So maybe between the Tempo and the Aero, yeah. Next on, we have the Instinct. The Instinct was a huge line from head back then, but like it kind of fell off. And when the boom arrived, it was like kind of useless. So now it's a mid-range type of racket with pretty much no evolution. As a stringer, it's horrible to string because you feel like the racket is gonna break all the time. So it's going to be a D tier. Next one, we have the Prestige. I was a user of the Prestige Graphene 360 Plus, the Pro version. I like this racket. Same thing with the Pro Staff. I feel like it's not good for the modern player, so would go with C tier, but I like this racket, but just like I don't feel like it's now okay to play with this like on tournament. Next one, we have the head speed. I really like the head speed. Looking at the other racket that are left, yeah, this one is going to be S tier. I like the Pro with the 18x20. I like the MP, and I love the Team. Like if you're searching for a 285 grams racket, the Team is your option. Yeah, S tier for sure. The Prince, whatever, I don't know the names of the Prince. I haven't tried the Prince, but from what I've heard, you know, they're pretty useless racket right now. But you know, it's not what I'm saying, just like what I've heard. So I can't really say like, yeah, probably D tier. Like Prince needs to come back a bit. Next on, we have the V-Core line. I really enjoyed the V-Core line. Yeah, they're pretty good, and I like the 100, I like the 98. I haven't tried the 95 yet, but yeah, would love to. Yeah, should be a solid A tier, maybe in front of the... yeah, maybe in front of the Aero, yeah. Next on, we have the Head Boom. You know what? The Head Boom is not something that I really like, personally. Yeah, for me it's like a D tier. Close to C, but like D tier. Like the Pro is fine, but the rest, like, I mean, they're kind of useless for me, personally. Next on, we have, this is the FX line from Dunlop. This is the line from Dunlop that I've tried the last in my, you know, playing career. You know, same thing, you know, it's a stiff racket, but it has a lot of power. But for me, it's not as good as the Ultra, so it would go down as a C tier. Yeah. Next on, we still have another Dunlop. It's the Dunlop FX line. I've tried the Dunlop FX line not long ago, just couldn't get my hand on it for a review. Stiff racket, good for spin, not as good as the Arrow, that's for sure. Would go down as C tier. Next on, we have the T-Fight. Yeah, I really enjoy the T-Fight. For me, it's one of the best racket. Same thing, couldn't get my hand on it to make a review, but it's a super racket. So would go probably really high, like a tier, but like in front of the Radical. Yeah, solid racket. We have is it the Twist Power? I don't know, like, yeah, same thing with Prince, we're gonna put it in D, but like I said, I haven't tried this racket, so maybe it's an A tier, but I don't know. Okay. This one I've tried it, this is the last one, this is the Wilson Clash. For me it's, yeah, C tier, and close to D. Alright, so that's it for the video, hope you have liked it. You know, comment about my tier list, what do you think? Obviously it's my personal opinion, but it's always cool to know what you were thinking about it. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe, and see you next time. Bye bye.